la la la. Stay. Howdy, folks. So I am refilming this because the first time I filmed it on the same day as that festive makeup look video. And the entire time I was recording, there was zero audio. So we're re-recording it. Now I know better than to use wireless mics, because they just don't work for me. Anywho, today I am trying out vintage lip rouges. So I was perusing Etsy, and I happened upon this Etsy shop. It is the LBCC Historical Apothecary. This is the little card that came with my order. There's the back of it. It says A. Schult, proprietress of LBCC Historical, celebrated and only genuine apothecary with a full assortment of fine toilet articles, including perfumes, pomatums, scented waters, complexion balms, teas, curling preparations, perfumed soaps, dentifrices, salves, rouges, and brushes, cold creams and vinegars, extracts and essences at www.littlebits.etsy.com from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. It's a mouthful, but I thought their Etsy shop was really, really cool. Like, there's their card. It's got their Instagram on it. Please go check them out. Yeah, go check out their Etsy shop if you're interested in, like, modern recreations of vintage beauty products and, like, toiletry products. It seemed really, really cool. Anyway, so I bought four rouges, and I'm going to be trying them today. So I'm pretty excited. Oh, goodness. Here's all four of them. There's two that are in, like, round bottles, and two that are a little bit smaller, and it's in, like, a squarish bottle. Don't know why you needed to know that, but now you do. So I'm going to start with the two bigger bottles here, and then I will do the two smaller bottles afterwards, I guess. Just from reading the bottles, these are the two that have actual dates on them from, like, the approximate time when the original recipe was from, I think. These two did not have dates. They don't have dates anywhere on them from, like, the time when the original recipe was from, or what period in history these would have been used. I'll try to look that up, and if it's available, I'll add the date somewhere on screen during editing. But I'm going to start with these two. The first one is, I'm just going to read the label. It says, liquid rouge that exactly imitates nature. Touch the cheeks lightly with this tincture, and it will scarcely be possible to perceive that rouge has been laid on. It will so nearly resemble the natural bloom. And the ingredients in this are simply alcohol, sandalwood, Brazilwood, alum, and gum of Benjamin. And there's a little date on here. I don't know if that's in focus. Yeah, right there. 1772. So I'm assuming that's the time period that the original recipe is from. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a try. Now, there were two versions of these bottles. One version came with a roller ball on the top, and the other version just came with nothing. I believe the rollerball version was a little bit more expensive, so I opted for just nothing. because if I were in 1772 and applying this, they didn't have like rollerball technology back then, I assume. So I just wanted to apply it with my finger, which is how it would be applied back in the day. The first time filming this, I did try to use a brush. Like, this is the literal exact brush. You can see red on there from me dipping it, and the brush didn't really work out. The bristles are probably wrong. Back in the day, if brushes were used, they were probably, they most definitely were not made out of synthetic fibers. It probably would have felt more like a really soft, like squirrel hair paintbrush. So it could hold a lot more pigment, it could hold a lot more liquid and apply it more evenly to the lips. This, obviously, the majority of the brushes in the market on the market today are synthetic. As far as I know, at least this one is. The bristles are quite coarse, and they don't really bend, so it was really difficult for that brush to pick up any substantial pigment and deposit it onto my lips. So very quickly I abandoned the brush and just went in with my fingers. So I'm gonna do that today. I'm just gonna go right in with my fingers. So this is the first rouge. It doesn't really have a name. It just says liquid rouge that exactly imitates nature. So I'm assuming this is more of a generic sort of red color that would have been... I don't know if they would have had different shades in 1772, but here goes. Ooh. I'm also not wearing any makeup today. The first time I filmed this, I had my hair done. I had makeup done because I just filmed another video. But since I had to refilm this anyway, I figured why not just do it barefaced? Because rouge, during the time period when rouges like this were used, people would have been otherwise barefaced anyway, for the most part. Beautiful. It provides a very subtle... Where's the lid? It provides a very subtle wash of color. Just like it says on the packaging. Just to provide sort of like a... to make you look not as washed out, I guess. The smell, by the way, there's no fragrances added. It's just whatever's in there. It's alcohol, sandalwood, Brazilwood, alum, and gum of Benjamin. So it smells... it honestly smells very much like wine. It smells like a red wine. It's not at all unpleasant, unless you absolutely hate wine, in which case, sorry. So, that's the first one. So anything more than this, back in the day, would be considered like... it would be considered over the top. It would be considered gaudy. Just a little bit like this on the lips, and just a little bit on the peach, on the cheeks. If you were someone who doesn't have a natural flush, I do. You can kind of see the redness in my skin. And if I'm playing with fire here, but if I go like this, if I give my cheeks a little slap, like this, do you see they're immediately red? My cheeks are immediately red. So someone like me probably would never need to use this as a cheek color. Because if I do anything, my cheeks end up getting flushed and quite red naturally. So I don't think I would ever need this as an actual cheek rouge. So I would probably just use this on the lips. So yeah, that's why I'm only doing the lips today. Here's the next one. This is called Turkish Rouge, and the label just says, "This is a beautiful and inoffensive rouge." Ingredients are vinegar, alcohol, Brazilwood, and alum. And I'm assuming this is the date that the original recipe is from. It says 1810. So from the early 1800s, that is when this would have been from. Would that be considered the Victorian era? I don't know. I'm not a historian. Here it goes. I can definitely smell more of a vinegar coming off of this. Very similar to the first one I tried. There it is. That's the Turkish Rouge. There's a slight difference of color in the bottles. It's really hard to tell unless you like hold them up to the light. But there is a slight difference in color. This is the Turkish one. There's a smudge of rouge on there from the first time I filmed this. So when I hold it up to the light, this one has a bit more of a like richer, darker berry tone, and this one has a little bit more of a brick tone to it. But applied on the lips, it looks pretty much the same. It feels very comfortable on the lips. They're extremely watery, so they dry down pretty much instantly. They don't apply a lot of color at once, which is it was the purpose back then. Unless you were a performer and worked on stage, you didn't really apply a lot of makeup. A lot of makeup was considered improper, basically. So this would have been, I assume, a perfectly acceptable amount of rouge to be worn on the smackers. Next one. It doesn't taste that great, by the way. I don't know how often people would be licking their lips. I don't know if it was considered proper or not, like proper etiquette to lick your lips in the 17 and 1800s. But I am a compulsive lip licker, and I am just curious how everything smells and tastes. So yeah, it's pretty much gone now because I licked it off. Yeah, it doesn't taste the greatest. It honestly tastes very similar to wine, like a diluted wine. All right. Next one. That will be this guy right here. This is the Rouge Vegetal Rose Liquide. Sorry, I can't tell if that's like in focus properly or not. The ingredients in this one, keep in mind that this is the recreation of a historical recipe. Water, carmine, ammonia, rose, and rose water. Those are the ingredients in here. And there is no other description. It's literally just the name and the ingredients on the back. That's it. Yeah, so that's literally it. I'll try and remember to look it up online, and if there is information on what time period this is from, or the time period this recipe was, what recipe this was inspired by, I will add it here. But for now, just going off of the packaging and what I was given in, like, when it was delivered, that's all I can tell you. Just the ingredients and the name of the rouge. So this is supposed to be more of a pinky color. You can tell that it's a lot more opaque looking. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but these ones, it's really dark in the bottle, but there is a certain amount of translucency to it. This one, it looks a lot more opaque just in the bottle. And it's a lot more pink in hue. Now, when I filmed this the first time, just out of curiosity, I put a little swatch of each one of these on my arm, left it for a few minutes, and then washed my arm off with water just to see if any of these would leave a significant stain. This was the only one that left a tiny bit of a stain, but if I just used soap and water and rubbed a little bit, it came right off. So I don't believe that It does not act as a lip stain. It colors the lips, but temporarily. Like you saw earlier when I was licking my lips, it took 2 or 3 licks on my lips, and the rouge was pretty much completely gone. So it really does not take much. Here's the pink one. Yep, smells like roses. I am not a fan of rose flavored or rose flavored or scented things. Not at all. I'll be perfectly honest with you. But what intrigued me about this one was the color and the packaging and just the historical aspect of it. I did know that this one would have kind of like a rose aroma to it. I was prepared for it. Still not a fan. So there's kind of 2 layers ish. See, it's a lot more subtle on the lips than it looks in the bottle. Let me try and build it up a tiny bit. Yeah, see, that didn't really do much. It's really hanging on the inner bits of my lips. See that? Not a fan of that. So that is the Rouge Vegetal Rose Liquide. I know I'm saying that wrong. Yeah. So there's that one. Now the last one. By the way, this is how I've been removing them this whole time. Just with the end of my shirt. Because it's not like they're stained, so I've just been licking my lips and using the bottom of my shirt to wipe it off. Because I forgot to bring, like a makeup wipe. Whatever. Am I ever properly prepared for filming? No. And it's been an especially heinous year so far, so my brain is all sorts of over the place. So this is the Rouge color that initially gravitated me towards this whole idea, this whole idea of rouges. This is the Natural Liquid Rouge in the shade, I guess, Mulberry. I think this was a limited time thing. I don't know if this is still available on their Etsy shop, but this is the one that I liked because it had more of like a raisin kind of undertone, like almost a purple undertone to it, and it intrigued me, so I was like, huh, I want to order that one. And decided to order a couple of others while I was at it. So, this is the Natural Liquid Rouge. Mulberry is the shade. The ingredients are sandalwood, Brazil wood, distilled water, alcohol, sodium carbonate, alum, vegetable glycerin, and gum of Benjamin. I have no idea what gum of Benjamin is, because these are very watery. They don't seem gummy at all, but it might have something to do with how to achieve the shade. Because I know alum is used in making paint. It has something to do with developing the color. Anyway, too much talking. Not enough smushing it on the lips. Okay. Mulberry. See? It had like a darker tone to it. Pretty. Now again, if I can figure out... Again, if I can figure out what time period this recipe was inspired by or based off of, I will definitely let you guys know. I'm just curious to see how much I can build this up. This rouge on the cheeks, because it has like a darker quality to it, I don't know how well that would go. This one may have specifically been made as a lip rouge. Kind of went outside the lines a little bit. But that's okay. So that's like 5 layers. And I couldn't really get it to build up any more than this. It's a decent amount, honestly, for the kind of product that it is. But I found at a certain point it all just started gathering in there. And like no more pigment was really being deposited on the outer part of my lips. It was all just going in there. So I am curious how... There's my mirror. I'm curious how something like a lip balm or lip gloss, I'm curious how it does over this. So I just got a lip smackers here. This is the one that it's Star Wars themed. That's C-3PO. This is just the lip smackers that I keep on my bedside table. Ooh. So it didn't really seem to... It's hard to see because this is brown, but I don't really think much smudged off. I do see a little bit. But overall, managed to cover it quite well. Because if it were me, this is probably how I would wear it. If I, like, present day, were wearing this just as part of an average makeup look, I would probably want a lip balm or a lip gloss or something over it to provide some hydration, because I have notoriously dry lips and have a bad habit of licking them. So this not only provides moisture to my lips, but it kind of provides a buffer between me licking. It provides a barrier between the lip color and me, basically. Now it's actually created a little, I don't know if you can see that. It's created a little line following my lip line. Interesting. Anywho, that's the video. I really wanted to try these vintage rouges. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. I love each and every one of you so much, and your support means the absolute world to me. I've honestly been having a really hard time this year. As of the time I'm filming this, I am unemployed. The point I'm trying to make is I really and truly appreciate every single one of you. And it would mean the world to me if you could like the video and consider subscribing to my channel. Because I would really love to make a career out of this one day. I've wanted to for years, and I would really love to make creating videos for you guys my career one day. But I'm gonna need your help to make that happen. So if you enjoyed this video, would you please consider giving it a big old thumbs up and subscribing to my channel? It would really help me out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.